of religious, thank you, or JCOR. It is my privilege to welcome you all, especially our guest speakers, Sister Leonida Kwamboka Oriki, IBVM, Mary Selina Munala, and Genoveva Amaral, Angel Gunsod, Sofia Bianca Rizano, and Aparajita Banerjee. Thank you for accepting our invitation to the CSW Parallel event. To our friends who are attending the CSW event for the first time, thank you for joining us in this one of the most attended UN events. And for those who have been to side events and parallel events during the CSW, we hope that you can learn something new in this webinar. Technology and its innovation are used in a number of ways. It is used for efficient and wide-reaching dissemination of knowledge in forms of distance learning and online education that foster inclusive learning environments. It provides inclusive spaces for people to share experiences and concerns, develop connections and social circles which might not be possible otherwise. And yet, halfway through the Sustainable Development Goals 2030, a digital gender divide persists with most of the 2.7 people who lack access to the internet being women and girls. Unfortunately, women and girls face numerous other obstacles to accessing technology. Asima Bahus, the UN Undersecretary General and Executive Director of UN Women states, a new kind of poverty now confronts the world, one that excludes women and girls in devastating ways, that of digital poverty. The digital divide has become the new face of gender equality. Digital tools and technology provide opportunities for women and girls to reach their full potential and become agents of change for themselves and their communities. In this webinar, we will highlight how access to digital technology and education allows young women and girls to fulfill their potential, contribute to their community, become leaders, and participate in the decision-making process. They will also discuss the issues they face and provide gender-sensitive solutions. Again, may I remind those who have just joined us, if you need Spanish interpretation, just click the interpretation icon. Our moderator for today is Janet Palafox, IBVM, the current representative at the UN of the IBVM Loreto NGO. And Janet will introduce our guest speakers. Over to you, Janet.
Thank you, Jane. Good morning, afternoon, evening to all of you. Today, we have an amazing array of speakers who will speak from their own experiences of how access to digital technology and education allowed young women and girls to fulfill their potential. Before I introduce our first speaker, may I remind you to put any questions you have in the chat box. We will make sure to request our speakers to address them. And if we have time, we will read one or two of them. So thank you again for joining us. Our first speaker today is Sister Leonida Kwamboka Oriki, IBVM. She is a sister of the Institute of the Blessed Virgin Mary and the current executive director of Wanawake Kwa Wanawake, Women for Women in Africa, or WKW. Having been born into poverty in the village and experienced how education transforms lives, she developed a passion for education for the poor, especially women. In 2008, she left work in a college as a college principal, having been in the teaching profession for 20 years. And she got the privilege of being involved in the work with the Kibera slum families in Nairobi. This life-changing experience was meant to be for a short time. However, having come face to face with the tough reality of children who really wanted to go to school, but their parents could not afford to send them to school. She could not turn away and leave. WKW, an organization working with the people of Kibera slums in Nairobi, Kenya, grew from paying school fees for children to offering basic literacy skills, a street MBA program, a safe house for girls, basic ICT skills, cookery, laundry, hygiene training to the women. The transformation they have witnessed is massive. Leonida, we would love to hear more about your programs and the transformation in the lives of women and girls with whom you work. The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for having me today. And it's such a great privilege to be here and to share with you my experience of working in Kibera slum. So this is such a privilege. And I'll be speaking on behalf of the women and the children of Kibera. And it's wonderful that Mary Selina is here today. She's our beneficiary and she'll speak for herself. So we at Wanawake, which simply translates to women for women in Kibera, have a passion to change the lives of Kibera families and to ensure that the women and the girls there are not left behind in this digital technology and education. So we have just made a deliberate effort, and that's what I'm going to share with you, what it has done. Just this week, we visited a Maasai village. The Maasai are pastoralists, and it's a community where female genital mutilation and early marriages are the norm. The visit was to assess the impact of our training. The women had completed a set of 3 courses: basic literacy, digital literacy, and street MBA. The next level after this normally is financial literacy, hygiene, cookery, housekeeping, first aid, laundry, skills, and training. Immediately we entered through the gate, we heard this man shout, "She can now write her name. She can now write her name." He was thrilled. There was impact straight away. We felt it. The woman had never been able to read and write. The man was thrilled. Yesterday, again, a child was sick in school. The school could not reach the mom. She had no phone. Her neighbor, whose phone she shared, and this is a common phenomenon in the slum, had moved to another location. So we could not get the mom. Digital technology has advanced education, created opportunities, and empowered women and girls worldwide. However, Kibera slum women face challenges accessing education and technology. We at Wanawake kwa Wanawake believe and are committed to bridging the digital divide by providing digital education to young girls and women through ICT training. The trainings have been very impactful. The youths have been employed in tech firms, and others are making money by working online through microworks. They also have easier access to information and learning. Even as I speak, we have a class of 18 to 25-year-olds who are in class right now being trained in ICT with the hope that they can get jobs. The training has also helped the youths avoid the vices associated with being idle in the slum. Our Skills for Inclusive Digital Participation training program has helped the women safely participate in the digital economy and access resources such as government services and mobile banking. In Kenya, a lot of women who do little businesses use their phones as their bank. They don't have bank accounts. And so not having digital literacy has been a great hindrance to them using their phones to bank. The women are also using social media platforms to market their products. This has improved livelihoods for the slum women. However, while we celebrate the strides made by digital technology, we cannot overlook the threat and risks that come with it. Technology, as we know, is a double-edged sword. The government has not yet fully regulated the internet, which has led to many negative effects. These threats not only jeopardize the safety of our girls by invading their privacy, but also perpetuate gender inequality. I can give an example where our girls in the slum are exploited just in order to be able to afford a phone or to be able to afford internet because they have no money to buy a phone. So it leads to them being exploited and misused. In addition, limited access to computers, phones, the high cost of the internet and electricity presents a significant challenge to many women and girls, limiting their ability to fully participate in the digital economy. As Kenya moves swiftly towards digitization of all its services, not much has been invested in educating the poor population on digital technology, especially the ones in the slums. We also need policies to protect those who use the internet. We are committed to using digital technology to create a more equal and just world for all. We are eager to collaborate with affiliated institutions and individuals to promote gender equality and empower women and girls, and to ensure the Kibera community is not left behind. I just want to add also that for a Kibera family, the phone is not a priority. Technology is not a priority. The priority is providing food. And so we are working hard to see that really these people are not left behind so that they can also participate just like other people, and also be able to live better lives because of the benefits that are derived from technology. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Leonida, for sharing with us the important and impressive programs KWK offers to Kibera women and girls. You also confirmed what the data tells us, that the majority of the over 2 billion people without internet access are women and girls. Thank you also for highlighting the importance of education, including digital education, and that it is a powerful tool that can transform lives and create opportunities for individuals and communities. You also reminded us that although the digital revolution provides unprecedented opportunities for women and girls, it is also a source of threat to the safety and well-being, to their safety and well-being. It is important that government regulates and provide a legal framework for the protection of all, especially women and girls. Thank you. Our next speaker is Mary Selena Munala. She is a young woman from Kenya and a former student and current volunteer at KWK Kenya. Mary Selena is a recent graduate with a bachelor's degree in energy technology from Kenyatta University. She grew up in Kibera, a community of overcrowded shacks on the outskirts of Nairobi. Mary believes in the power of women to lead swiftly towards ensuring access to clean and affordable energy in the world and to end energy poverty in the global south. Mary is with us today, but has recorded a video due to an unstable internet connection. Mary will join us at the Q&A. Please play the video. Thank you.
Hello everyone, my name is Mary Selena. The aim of achieving gender equality and empowerment of women and girls through digital technology is really important and has a positive impact to me and to many girls like me. Coming from Kibera slums, where families generally lack finances to afford even a basic quality education for their children, Introducing them to mobile phones and computer technologies or sending them to digital training courses is next to impossible. I had access to a mobile phone after finishing my Kenya Certificate of Secondary School examination, passing so well and was guaranteed a place in the university. That's when I was bought my first smartphone. We view this as some rite of passage, and when you fail your exam, there's no phone, and this is mostly applied to girls. Women and girls are rarely the primary owners of mobile devices, and more likely have simple featured phones that do not support mobile internet use and are less likely to own a smartphone as compared to men. Gender inequality in the physical world is replicated in the digital world, and there's a large gap in women and girls' digital adoption and use as compared to men. Life in Kibera is harsh and a grinding reality by lack of access to basic services like running water, electricity, healthcare, or any kind of opportunity. One can easily be discouraged and disempowered. Most girls never get an opportunity to overcome these circumstances due to lack of exposure. Being able to connect and bring together ideas and minds across borders and cultures results to change in the mindset. And I'm able to look at the world in a different perspective and know that there is more to this world than what I can see in this lab. And that made me feel safe and truly empowered. Digital technologies have a strong potential to empower girls and women, both economically and socially. Social media can be used as a vehicle to spread inspirational stories of female leaders and change makers across the world, and it can act as an amplifier to the voices of girls and women. I am a recent graduate with a bachelor degrees in energy technology, and in a class of more than 50 students, only 8 were girls and only 4 of us graduated. It's a harsh reality that technology is thought and still viewed as a masculine area and a career path, that women have no equal opportunities in relation to men. And even given a chance to continue their education, girls are discouraged from pursuing courses related to technology. There are a number of reasons that are holding back from pursuing an interest in technology courses. Negative stereotypes, lack of role models, discouragement, low self-confidence, fear of competing in a male-dominated industry, and fear of unemployment are some of the reasons. We live in an increasingly complex and evolving world, and without increased digital adoption and youth, girls will have fewer employment opportunities and will face additional barriers in workplace participation. I truly want to see a world where women and men have same opportunities, a world where women and girls don't have to face barriers in digital technology, and where we can reach our full potential.
Thank you so much for that. Do you want to say a little bit?
Yes, I wanted to say I'm a beneficiary of Wanawake for Wanawake and a sister Leonida, and it has been a great help. I was taken in when I was in grade 3, and they paid my school fees until I joined university, finished primary school, I joined secondary school, I went to university, and I'm a graduate right now. And it has been a blessing to me. This program has been a blessing to me. And it's truly amazing how they have done and continue doing to other students like me and other children like me in the slums. Yeah.
Thank you. You are a testament to what girls can achieve when barriers to quality education and digital access are removed. It is a sobering truth of the digital divide that whilst in some places we see 6-year-olds playing with their own smartphones, you had to wait until you finished high school. And for some in your community, owning a phone is next to impossible. Thank you so much for that inspiring address. This would be a good time to think about how quality education, gender equality, and digital access are critical for women and girls achieving their full potential. Next, we welcome Sister Genoveva Amaral, a Holy Spirit missionary sister who is originally from East Timor. She studied law and graduated in 2008. She did her masteral in justice and peace, especially peace building and reconciliation in the United States, and did her internship at the Vivat International Office in New York. Upon her return to Indonesia in 2015, she joined Vivat International Indonesia. She became its secretary from 2017 to 2019, and from 2020 to the present, she is the director. While working at Vivat, they carried out actions related to humanitarian issues. But in the last 4 years, they have focused more on 4 issues, such as women and children, human trafficking, the environment, and the rights of indigenous people. Thank you, Sister Genoveva.
Hi, nice to meet you all. Thank you for inviting me to join for this occasion. I'm going to share with you about what we are doing here in Vivat Indonesia, especially things that we are doing related to digital education. During the COVID-19 times, 2020 to 2001, honestly, we could not do anything due to the lockdown here in Indonesia. On other hand, social problems and crimes against humanity in Indonesia increased drastically. So things that we are doing, we are using the technology to reach out with the victims and victims' family and our networks for the lobby and advocacy. In a short time, we provided Zoom, WhatsApp, WhatsApp group, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and website. One of our challenges that we faced, that not everyone knows how to use technology. So we organized socialization and training for Vivat's member, our network in national level and grassroots, or at the schools, and with the children who are living in the dormitories to teach them how to use the media for their study, or also how they communicate with the people, especially to raise the issue that women and children face during the COVID-19. Below are some activities we carry out. In November 2021, we have made a training for the journalists in Kupang for all the journalists from Nusa Tenggara Timur. The participants from 7 districts in Nusa Tenggara Timur, such as Sumba, Kupang, Maumere, Manggarai, Labuan Bajo, and Soe Belu. There were 26 journalists from female and male from various media, religions, and tribes. The journalists are trained to cover news by siding with the vulnerable groups. So we started building the network with the journalists in order to voice up the violence against women, human trafficking, and unsafe migration that happened in Indonesia, especially during the COVID time. And the next, we also held the socialization and media training for our members, for the Vivat members, GPICs, and the young people and people from the grassroots that they become our network in the grassroots. At the time, we cannot make traveling to the grassroots. So we had it by online through Zoom. Here are some pictures that you can see here in the PowerPoint. The next. Okay. We also did the socialization, how to use media for the youth people in Palangkaraya. There were 40 young females from 2 dormitories, from Parish dorms and Holy Spirit Missionary Sisters dorms. We teach them how to use media properly and safely, because the issue of human trafficking, the recruiters, they use the media to recruit women and children. That is why that through that socializations, we teach them how to use the media properly so that they not become victims. Also, we teach them how to use media for the school's needs, like using the Zoom for school, because during COVID times, they cannot go to school, but they are studying through online. We also teach the young girls to use the media, because most of them, they have their own Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. So we teach them to raise the issues that are going on in the society. The next. We also we went to the people in the small villages to teach the women. Here you see at the pictures, they don't know how to use a telephone or a Zoom. So we use the opportunity, we go to the small towns, we teach them how to use the cell phone, and also we encourage them to teach their children how to use the media so that they cannot become the victims. Most of the people in the remote places, they don't have internet, also they don't have the cell phone. So here we bring some ladies from the city, bring out with them with their phone, so we show it to the ladies who are in the remote places. Next. So for us, technology can provide extraordinary opportunities for everyone, including girls and women, to achieve their goals, especially in raising social issues that occur in the society without going through a long and complicated process. Media is a good tool for the marginalized to voice their rights in the public, so that many people, including the government and other humanitarian agencies, are aware of protecting and being responsible for the rights of the marginalized, especially the rights of women and children. I think that is my presentation. We can talk more when you have the questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sister Genoveva, for that amazing talk and letting us know about the programs of Viva International in Indonesia. It's great to see your group sensitizing journalists to the issues faced by vulnerable people. More importantly, you are also addressing the key issue of digital safety through education for women and girls. Thank you for informing us of the advantages and disadvantages of digital technology. Our next presentation is a video presentation to introduce another program, to introduce the program in the Philippines, the Sandigoan Center for Learning in Manila. The program prepares young people from underprivileged backgrounds for the complex world of the 21st century and combines the philosophy of mindfulness with the Princeton piles of critical thinking, systems thinking, and design thinking. So the Sandiwaan Learning Center collaborates with the Philippine Department of Education, Microsoft, and IBM, and shows just how we can localize and contextualize the opportunities and platforms offered by national and global stakeholders. Let's watch a video that shows us what the alternative learning system of Sandiwaan Center for Learning is all about.
We could all agree that the youth of today are digital natives, yes? And because of their familiarity with digital tools and unlimited access to information, do you think they are ripe and ready for this digital age? The results of PISA in 2019, a worldwide assessment of 15-year-old students, show otherwise. Where is the disconnect? The challenge lies in finding ways to reassess and shake up the manner with which we teach. We now share with you the Convergence Learning Project by the Sandiwaan Center for Learning. Supported by the Department of Education through its ALS EST program and with the unstinting guidance of ASIC GH Ambat. Also in partnership with the Development Academy of the Philippines, it aims to reinvigorate second chance education, particularly the ALS, the Alternative Learning System, which is a parallel system for students who do not have or cannot access formal schooling.
Ipagpapatuloy ko po ang aking pag-aaral sa abot ng aking makakaya para maiahon ko rin po ang pamilya ko sa kahirapan. Pag nakatapos po ako, maghanap na rin ulit ako ng bagong trabaho. Dahil ang pangarap po namin is makapunta po sa ibang bansa.
Gusto ko po maging financially stable para matulungan ko rin po yung mama ko na hindi niya na po siya kailangan magtrabaho pa.
The church has recognized that the human race has moved from its static to a dynamic understanding of the world. This brought about paradigm shifts. So, the paradigm shifts also dictate that we shift our pedagogies, our methods of learning. That's why we have values-based education programs for marginalized children and school dropouts. So you light the fire. You do not fill their heads with content that they could Google in 7 seconds flat. And you have to take into consideration that there's already AI and robotics and Internet of Things. And because of the fast changes, the kids are suffering from emotional distress. So how do you teach kids? With very fast changes happening and their brains cannot adapt. How do you educate kids for jobs that do not yet exist? So values-based. Solidarity, integrity, creativity are our values. And how do we propose to do it? Using the tools of AI, robotics, blockchain technology, Internet of Things, and all the tools of the Fourth Industrial Revolution, we seek to enhance thinking skills.
Another key partnership is with the IBM Skills Build, where ALS students are already earning badges and certificates in AI, data analytics, cybersecurity, IT administration, and more. Real-world useful tech skills already at this level.
Ang Sandiwaan Center for Learning gumagawa ng mga paraan para yung mga bata maging attractive sa lessons. Kagaya ng ginagawa ni Father Ben ngayon na pag-digitalize ng mga DepEd modules, no? Mas magiging ganado yung mga bata dahil parang online games na rin. No? Nakikita nila na, pwede naman palang patutuan natin kahit na naglalaro tayo.
The Convergence Learning Project began with training 200 faculty members, handling a pilot pool of 600 grade 11 students, including 100 from Maasin Leyte. The next phase is incorporating the SEL framework, or Social and Emotional Learning Framework, into the junior high ALS curriculum. Students master who they are and map out who they will be. Plus, there are 20 modules on entrepreneurship and online marketing. Even the Sandiwaan Center learning spaces will be converted to house multi-channel tech hubs. 21st century ready both for ALS students and the little ones under the Early Childhood Care and Development Program. Our responsibility as teachers is to think, speak, motivate, and educate in a digital language, so we can connect better with the youth who are gamers, content makers, online editors, and citizens of both a real and virtual environment. We need to help young Filipinos win in an arena run by technology,
so that the kids can use what they learn through our programs in the community and to solve global problems.
Gusto ko pong baguhin sa aming komunidad o sa aming barangay ay ang tamang pagtatapon po ng basura po.
Gusto ko po maging pulis para po masugpo ang illegal na droga dahil po naawa po sa kabataan na naapektuhan na illegal na gamot.
Katulad ko po na working student po, wag po kayong susuko na kahit wala na pong gumagabay sa inyo, wala pong nakakaintindi sa mga problema niyo. Ipagpatuloy niyo po yung best niyo para po makapagtapos.
It's an integrated whole to educate the kids so that we can light a fire and they will become better human beings who will build a better world.
We're shaping the youth for today because the future is here.
What a great initiative. We need more of these programs to assist our young people to really navigate our current world. Now we will hear from two of the students of Sandiwaan Center for Learning. First is Angel Gunsot, a 23-year-old student of Sandiwaan Center for Learning and a mother of two. We will play a pre-recorded video of Angel introducing herself and her experience with digital education. After that, Angel will speak with us more about her experience with digital education. Thank you.
Ako po si Angel Ginsot, 23 years old. Nakatira po sa Barangay 123, Tondo, Manila. Ako po ay may pamilya na at dalawa pong anak. Ako po ay nahin ko sa aking pag-aaral dahil hanap po ako ng trabaho para sa aking nani at tatay. Nag-enroll po ako sa alternative learning system ng Sandiwaan Center for Learning. Dahil nais ko po makapag-aaral ulit upang makapagtapos at makahanap ng magandang trabaho sa aking mga anak. Nakatulong ang teknolohiya sa online class namin sa pag-aaral ng araw-araw. Good evening, ma'am, everyone. Good morning po, good evening. Here's my experience sa teknolohiya. Using the digital has more advantage because it's speed up teaching and learning for an individual or students. Unlike the public schools, in the Philippines, the Sandiwaan Center for Learning primarily uses digital technology. It also accepts studies who have stopped studying. Digital technology makes studying and learning in school easier. We can search online on Google for things we don't know. It it has improved my life because I can't understand things I could find before in books on Google and it has also become a hobby for me. In my everyday life, digital technology helped me earn money by posting the items I want to sell, and it helps me communicate with my family easier and faster. I can understand and search for more things online that I need to be sure of. Digital technology has helped boost my self-confidence, and I can even teach my family and friends how to use computers and mobile phones. And because I have experience using this, yeah, I can apply things I learned from school, and particularly when I use them to earn money by posting our item for sale online. I can search for my lesson, watch tutorials on YouTube, search for answer on Google, and we use Google to translate Tagalog to English, English to Tagalog. Lastly, digital technology will help me if I study college and find a good job someday because it will make my studies or work and more understandable using a computer. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Angel, for sharing the role of education in your journey. Your story exemplifies how truly transformative education and digital education can be, especially in underprivileged communities and for young women and girls. It is great to know that not only have you been able to learn better through digital technology, but also can earn some money for yourself. Our next speaker is Sofia Bianco Rizano, an 18-year-old student at Sandiwaan Center for Learning. We will also play a pre-recorded video of Sofia introducing herself and her experience with the digital education. And then Sofia will also tell us a little bit more about her experience with digital education after the video. Thank you.
Ako po si Sofia Bianca G. Rizano, 18 years old, huminto noong grade 7 dahil hindi na kaya tustusan ng magulang ko yung pag-aaral. Nag-enroll po ako sa ALS ng Sandiwaan Center noong 2020. Noong panahon po ng pandemya, mahirap po makapasok ng face-to-face kaya nag-online class kami. At yun po yung nakatulong para makatapos ako ng junior high school. Nakapasa po ako noong 2021 at ngayon po ay nag-aaral sa senior high school grade 9, Omega na. Gusto ko po makapagkuleyo at kumuha po ng tourism para po makatulong sa pamilya ko at lalong-lalo na po sa lola ko na nagpalaki sa akin.
Now we will hear from Sofia.
Ang experience ko po sa Sandiwaan Learning Center,
My experience in Sandiwaan Center for Learning, the beauty of digital technology is that it saves more on cost and even helps me with homework while studying, especially when the COVID pandemic was so bad. The Sandiwaan Center for Learning is for students who have stopped studying because they can no longer afford the daily expenses. The difference between them is that it accelerates learning compared to public school.
pagkaiba nila ay mas
The difference between them is that accelerates learning compared to public school. The pandemic strengthened this learning system.
noong pandemya ay nasa loob lang
During the pandemic, I was just inside the house and did not need to spend for transportation to go to school, and even could help the family with household chores. I can look for a job online so that I can earn income for our daily needs. My self-confidence increased, so I am very grateful to Sandiwaan Center for Learning because they helped me to finish junior high school.
Masaya din ako dahil ngayong
I
natuto
am also happy because now that I have learned, I am the same as my family members and friends who know how to use computers and mobile phones.
pwede rin kami magturo sa mga batang
We can also teach children who struggle to study because there is no more money to spend on school. We can also share what we have learned with our nieces and nephews so that they learn at least a little as they grow up. The good thing about using social media is that it can be used for important things, even if you are far from each other. You will still have connection, and no matter where you are, the use of social media is still helpful. But the things that are not so good about social media are the viruses in the accounts, so sometimes social media is a problem. Digital technology will help because I can focus more on the course I will take in the future and the job I will do after school. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Sophia. I am glad you could continue studying during the pandemic, thanks to Sandiwaan's online education. It is also wonderful that you are now able to confidently communicate with your family online. You show us how women take advantage of the opportunities that are provided to them, especially when offered quality and digital education. Maraming salamat, Sophia.
Thank you po, ma'am.
Our last but definitely not the least speaker is Aparajita Banerjee. Aparajita is a student of Loreto House, Kolkata. She is one of the Mary Ward Youth Advocate. She has participated in various workshops in the field of STEM and actively promotes women empowerment in the field of robotics and technology. She was part of a team that won the Community Outreach Award at the international level in the first Tech Challenge competition. Their team also made it to the finals with the robot they built, designed, and programmed themselves. All of this while Aparajita is currently 16 years old. Over to you, Aparajita.
Thank you so much, sister. A very good morning, evening, afternoon to wherever this audience may be. Today, I think we all know, as many of us have been told and are aware, that we are at the threshold of the fourth industrial revolution, right? It is considered to be an age of education, an age of industry, as well as an age where digital literacy was pushed forward by the pandemic. And we find that some gaps were bridged, but most of the problems that we face today as a community, as a world, as netizens of this country or this global community, most of these problems lead us into ever-widening space. And we've all seen that technological innovation, by various examples in this webinar itself, is transforming education. It is updating the skills required for modern work. It is building a future-ready and hopefully pandemic-proof education system where curricula, which is fit for the 21st century, is being built to build a solid foundation for a lifetime of adapting and developing new abilities. Now, despite the progress that we have made on closing gender gaps in work and education, I have seen that gender inequality remains the norm around the world. Violence against women and girls has yet to be properly addressed in any country, and social, cultural, political, and economic barriers, they continue to hinder women's participation in labor forces, politics, as well as humanitarian action. And it stunts their presence in leadership roles. And today, all of this has led us to an inequality, even in this time of technological change and education for achieving gender equality. We forget the importance that this has in our day-to-day lives as laymen, which is why we are in this state in the first place. And I want to impress on everybody over here that change in the form of equality can no longer wait. Technology has provided a crucial lifeline during COVID-19 by linking people to loved ones and to work, to school, to education, in ways that it just makes it much, much clearer just how digitized the near future will be. And the hybrid forms of collaboration that we speak of today, that have emerged today, as we move towards a new normal, brings its own challenges and may aggravate our existing inequalities. To be able to thrive in a contemporary workplace as we know it today, young people need to develop digital fluency and STEM skills from an early age. But I remind you that when I speak of digital skills, I agree that they're essential. But real digital fluency means being able to apply ethical considerations to technical achievement. I come from a developing South Asian country, India, with a population that is set to overtake China this year. And we have long been a country of culture, history, tradition, and pride. However, after independence, the gender gaps that I spoke about have not been closed despite consistent efforts. I am lucky to have come from a progressive family where independent thought and action is encouraged. But I remind you that this is not synonymous with the majority of women and girls in my country. To bring to your attention on the why of my efforts here today, I would like to speak a little bit personally about my time as a first-year participant in the First Tech Challenge. It's basically an international robotics competition in which the youth, starting from 13 till about 21, program, build, engineer, design their own robots, and then we basically battle it out on a particular field. And I took part in this competition. I was the head programmer of an all-girls team. It was the only all-girls team there was, and we were a formidable force. We bagged awards and we helped other teams, and all the general and professionalism that one could do at 13 years of age. And we were all first-year participants, right? And we were all 13-year-olds competing with students, with teenagers who were nearly 3 to 4 years older than us, about 18 to about 21. And people underestimated us. We knew people would underestimate us. And there were 2 or 3 teams that mocked us because of our age, our work, our gender, even our robot. And this at 13 years of age, it hurt us hard because we were as proficient as they were. We were winning competitions that other teams lost. We were beating them and so forth. And in spite of us winning award after award after award, we still faced this gender inequality. We still were in the face of a certain inequality. People looked down upon us because, our age, gender, whatever it may be. And I remember, I was 13 at the time, and all these incidents, they brought forth the whole issue of gender inequality to me. And it's not that my parents and school had not educated me about this. I was educated, I was aware, but I'd never seen it coming to us in the 21st century. Literally in an environment of technological change and in an environment that hallmarks progress. But that's not the point of my story. The point is that even in the course of competition, apart from the competitive side of things, community outreach was still a big part of our overall commitments. And with fast, ever-changing dynamics, I realized that mindsets are shifty, but not quite. And this realization happened upon me 3 years later in the course of my time as a youth advocate in 2022, that the problem lies not in the efforts being put in or where they are being put in or how they are being put in. It is in when they are being put in. We speak of women equality, women empowerment, and everything that falls under that umbrella at a stage when it is already too late and mindset and thinking have already formed in the minds of, say, the 20 to, say, 85-year-olds. And I realized that the time to bring these issues to light as women, for women, and to society in general, the key lies in striking early. To implore the adolescents of today, to implore our so-called Gen Z and Gen Alpha, I remind you that I'm 16, and it is eventually my generation that is going to take over from you in the course of the next year, 20, 30 years. And I realize that it is a right. In this age, it is a right that all girls, all children, all women should have access to digital education and literacy. But because of some bias in education and mindset, girls struggle to receive and understand technology. Today, technology is an essential source of information which necessitates the improvement of digital literacy. And despite girls' high interest to pursue technological careers, they're limited to this gender bias and this insufficient access to technology and a lack of inclusive educators. I implore each and every one of you here to remember that it is by the intermixing of cultures and people of the centuries that has expanded our economies, that has buttressed international relations, that has facilitated commerce and directly contributed to improving the quality of life. But festering injustice as a legacy of a poorly understood past can act as a brake on development. It will act as a failure to confront it, to allow it to linger on for generations to come. It will nurture resentment and it will sow conflict. But ensuring that everyone has access to digital education, to a quality education, I assure you that it will disrupt the exclusionary patterns that we see today. It can help mend fragmented societies. It will prevent the fracturing across identity fault lines. It will boost a more diverse mix of entrepreneurs. And in a wider range of role models which will become available to inspire these more diverse communities, more energy will be harnessed to find the solutions for the contemporary problems we will face. It is not that just because we are facing a problem today, we solve it and tomorrow we will not have another problem. These will keep coming up, whether it is a global health crisis or geopolitical conflagration, or it is a theme of the digital divide that we're discussing today. I am sure that under revamped paradigms, success will accrue on the basis of ability and not identity. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Aparajita, for your passion and commitment to gender equality and advocating to ensure that all girls and women, not only you, have equal access to digital technology, but more importantly, are involved in its design, creation, and development. You are a breath of fresh air and a really big hope for all of us, especially us older people like me, that's not very tech savvy. Thank you also for your advocacy prior to the Commission on the Status of Women. As you know, Aparajita is one of our advocates for the Mary Ward group, and she was one of the girls who reviewed the zero draft. The zero draft is the initial draft of the outcome statement that member states agree on during CSW, which is happening at the moment. The girls developed their own recommendations and advocated with member states to ensure that girls' issues are heard. Aparajita was one of the girls who were actually speaking with member states, encouraging them and imploring them not to forget girls. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you. It's been a pleasure.
Thank you. I think we have some questions in the chat box. So, and this question is for any one of our speakers, because I think it is basically people are asking us, people in the audience are asking us, how can we advocate with you? What can we do to further the digital education of our world, especially for the vulnerable women and girls? Okay, Aparajita, you can respond.
Thank you so much. I know all of you just heard me, and me coming back might be a bit repetitive. But I think the first thing that comes to mind with this question is the fact that as an individual, the first thing that you can do is to believe in it yourself. I mean, what I see in my country is that, we talk about gender equality and, all the inequality and the problems that we face as a community. But you don't see the layman, the average citizen actually doing anything about it, right? It is this very niche group of people who have this sudden realization and this dawn upon them. And they are the ones who go ahead with it. It is not the average citizen. So as an individual, the first thing that you can do is to believe in it yourself, and then spread that belief to the people who are most immediate around you. And once you start spreading that belief, it's going to be like a ripple effect, right? And it is by spreading belief that, I believe that we are actually going to affect change. It is not by me speaking or by any of the other speakers who are going to speak. It cannot be a niche effort. It has to be a combined effort. It has to be a combined belief.
I also want to add that we have seen an overwhelming need of people turning up at our gates asking whether they can access the computer, whether they can access the internet, whether they can get classes on digital technology. People are so aware of the benefits and the opportunities that are associated with digital technology, and they really want to access it, except that they don't have the resources. And we are overwhelmed. We are not able to help and to support them. But with working with other people, we think that we can do a lot for the people, and we have seen the great impact, the efforts that we've made, how people's lives have been changed, how people are happy because of just receiving the education that we have given. We have also noticed that when we started these classes for digital technology, we realized that a lot of the women actually did not have the basic education. They could not read and write. And so the efforts to spread the digital technology were hampered by first offering the basic education.
Thank you so much for your responses. Mary Selena, would you like to also respond?
Yes, being able to be given an opportunity and a space to access digital literacy, it's truly inspirational and it's very important. Technology is everything right now. After COVID came, this is when we realized that we have to be digital literate. So as we create awareness, we also have to have in mind that a lot of people are not, in my own background, a lot of people are not literate in digital, and creating awareness and educating them and telling them benefits of digital literacy, and being able to tell them the benefits that they can encounter. Example, they are able to access health services and information. There are these topics that are very sensitive in our.
You're on mute.
Sorry, Selena, you have been muted.
Yeah, there are these sensitive topics that women can't ask in our community. Topics like reproductive health, topics like sex and religion and politics. And when you're given the opportunity to be able to enter online and search for yourself, it is great. And it makes you feel secure and safe when you're able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Angel, there's a question here about how you are able to manage your time, especially looking after your children and studying. So tinatanong nila kung paano mo na manage yung oras mo sa pag-aaral at saka pag-alaga ng anak mo.
This is a question to Angel. So how are you able to manage your time taking care of children at the same time studying?
Ginagawa ko po yung pag-aaral ko. Nagagawa ko naman po dahil
I am able to do my studies because my husband is helping me and he's taking care of our children. My class is at 1 p.m. I wake up early in the morning so that I can take care of my children. So I prepare their milk.
Para po ako maka-concentrate sa kanya. Ayun po. Nakukuha ko naman po yung tinuturo ni Sir Andrew sa amin.
I am able to understand the lessons from Sir Andrew compared with my other classes and school. Sir Andrew,
Mga tinuturo niya po sa amin.
I understand all that Sir Andrew is teaching us.
Ayun na nga po, ma'am. Thank you po.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Angel, for sharing. Yeah, I'm just trying to find
yes.
Sister Genoveva. I think she may have.
She sent a message that since there's a very bad weather condition now at their place, so the electricity cut off and she could not remain online. Sorry for that.
Okay, that's okay. Do we have any more questions?
I saw there is a request for a copy of the video of Sandiwaan Center for Learning. So we could possibly share that video, right?
If that is
we will check with Sandiwaan and share it with you if it's okay. There's another question here actually about how can we bring value to social media? I will, if it's okay, ask all our speakers about any like the negative experiences and how we can address those. Or any ask that you have at the moment. Like I said, we still have the negotiations happening at the UN for the Commission on the Status of Women, which is on this very issue exactly. So we would like to know what would you like to ask these global leaders to make sure to include in that statement, and what they can do to address the issues that you have raised here, including access, security, and of course that the issue of poverty as well, related to the lack of access.
I may take this question, I think, head first. It's quite similar to one that is on the chat box as well by a Miss Cecilia Otwaya, who says that the first step is access and capacity to use technology. It is important for girls to be part of creation and design of new technology. Now again, very similar to the question that has been presented. Poverty comes out of necessity, right? When you don't have basic necessities, that's how you say that, okay, there is a sense of poverty in this area. And again, value in social media use comes down to the person using it. And when the person using it doesn't have those ethical considerations in mind, does not have the real digital fluency in mind, you cannot expect that person to use social media ethically, right? And everybody in this forum has those assets, right? Social media, in the internet, and the facilities that is provided to us by the internet are all assets to us. But what we must remember is that every asset that we invent, the amount of help and benefits that it gives us, it is in the same capacity that it can be of detriment to us. So if it has done so much of good to us, you can well imagine how much of bad it can do to us as well. So when you inculcate women into the creation of technology, you are bringing a new perspective, right? When you bring in a woman who has suffered in poverty and has faced hardships, and you bring in that person to consult on a particular design or a particular technology, she will obviously have a much different take than, say, the average layman who's sitting, next to me or across from me. So of course, the first step is access. Access again comes down to a bias, and once you conquer that bias, you face another problem, which is ethical use. Ethical use again comes down to the lack of digital fluency, ethical digital fluency. The ethical digital fluency again comes down to a gender bias, which is not being imparted at a scale that it should be. And when you say, okay, even if we conquered that, what do we do about the creation and design of new technology? And to sum it up, it would be, you need perspective. Without perspective from different angles, you cannot have a holistic view of anything. So you need perspective, you need representation in every aspect of anything that you're doing, be it technology or even be it any leadership roles or management or anything. You need perspective and you need a holistic view of things. And that would be my part for this.
Thank you, Aparajita. It's great actually that we have representation here from different parts of the world. So we'd also like to hear from Mary Selina for in the case of Kenya and in particular Kibera.
The points that Aparajita pointed out, that women are supposed to be included in policy making, and we not only be the consumers of what the male have done, because most of technologies are male created, and us as women are consumers of that. So in my take, as in a slum, connectivity to the internet is very low. There's no connectivity because of price, because of the cost, and there's no connectivity because of the social norms that these specific roles are supposed to be held by women, and these specific roles are supposed to be held by the male. There's a lot of things that make up these challenges and make up this gender bias that we experience as women here. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Mary Selina. It's really important that women and girls, as we have been advocating for, are not only seen as consumers, but are seen as really agents of change. They have their own agency in changing, and without your input, in the design, in the creation, but more importantly, in the policies, it's not going to address all the issues that are faced by women and girls, but in fact by everyone, because as they have been saying at the UN, that this is the new phase of poverty, and it is a very gendered issue. Leonida, did you have anything to say? And then I will also ask Angel. Over to you.
Yes, thank you very much, Janet. This has been an issue, adding value to digitizing everything, and we have been looking at this, especially because of the youth and some of the issues that are happening, like children going off, and the parents think that it's just because of technology that now children are being badly behaved, that there are no controls at all. And some of them actually are resisting this technology because they think it's not a good thing at all because of the products that they see. So while this is happening, we are also educating them that actually technology is very beneficial. And we are trying to see how we can lobby that the people who work in our Ministry of Technology are not just people interested in business, but are people who are interested in advancing the good use of technology and reaping really maximally from technology. So ours is to try and push this and also educate our youth so that they can also lobby the government to put the right people in those offices.
Angel, meron ka bang gustong sabihin sa gobyerno ng Philippines para makatulong sa inyo tungkol dito sa para makagamit kayo lahat ng digital technology, tsaka sa pag-aaral mo?
Opo, ma'am,
napakahalaga po sa amin, sa mga estudyante po ang technology na ito dahil nakakatulong po sa kanila to sa mga gawain po nila. Katulad po ng mga homework, mga ganyan po. At para po maano po nila mahanap kaagad yung pinapagawa ng guro sa kanila. Napakalaga po ang technology para sa atin at sa amin po. Para mas naiintindihan po namin, mas maintindihan po na yung mga bagay po na di po namin mahanap kung saan po. Salamat po.
So Angel was saying that for them, again, she reiterated that technology is very important for them, especially in their homework, when they need to learn something or they want to know something that they don't have in the book. So they can easily access technology by searching things that they do not know.
Thank you so much for that, Jane. And thank you to everyone. We are nearly towards the end of our time. So I would now like to invite Marides Santos, who is the representative of Vivat International at the UN, to thank our guests on our behalf and deliver the closing remarks. Thank you.
Okay. So thank you so much to our speakers today, Leonida, Mary Selena, Sister Genoveva, Angel, Sophia, and Aparajita. You have enriched our knowledge and awareness by generously sharing your concrete experiences of digital education. We would also like to thank our host organizations, Vivat International, Institute of the Blessed Virgin Mary, Loreto Generalate, Medical Mission Sisters, and Justice Coalition of Religious for designing, organizing, and producing this event. We hope that everyone will leave this meeting feeling hopeful and inspired by the knowledge that women and girls are taking their rightful share of quality education and technology. At the same time, the fact remains that the digital divide is still a big challenge facing the world. But we keep our hopes high. So thank you so much to all our participants. Have a good rest of the day. Thank you.